after the U.S. is completely out on the 31st, will you coordinate with the Taliban or give them notice if you plan to conduct more strikes against ISIS?
I don't think it's useful to get into hypothetical operations, future operations one way or the other. The only thing I would tell you is that the president has made it very clear that we will maintain robust over-the-horizon counterterrorism capability, the kinds of capabilities that you've seen us use in just the last 24, 36 hours, and we'll have the ability to act in ways that are in keeping with our national security interests and help prevent attacks on the homeland. We still have that capability. We will use that capability.
What's not hypothetical is the fact that the U.S. military has been coordinating with the Taliban on the ground for the last 2 weeks or so. So to ask if you were going to continue coordinating with them, in this case against ISIS-K, isn't hypothetical. Will you continue to coordinate with the Taliban after August 31st?
I beg to differ. I actually think your question is entirely hypothetical about something that is entirely different than what we've been coordinating with the Taliban on over the last 2 weeks, which has been to help us get as many people onto that airport as possible. I do appreciate the sense of the question. I'm not trying to mock it. It's just that I don't think it's helpful for us to talk about what over-the-horizon counterterrorism capability is going to look like going forward and how we're going to execute it. Suffice it to say, we have the capability. We've demonstrated that over just the last couple of days in strikes that were not coordinated with the Taliban, and we have that ability to go forward.
And then does the Pentagon or CENTCOM or whomever it would be have the authority to continue to conduct strikes against ISIS-K after August 31st, or do those decisions have to go to the president on a case-by-case basis?
The commander on the ground has the authorities he needs right now. I'm not going to talk about authorities going forward. I will say this, not in terms of, I know what you're asking, specific approval authority for each and every strike. I won't talk about policy decisions going forward, except to say that the entire interagency, certainly the entire military chain of command, understands the existence of this threat and the possibility of this threat to continue to exist over time, and we have the capability to deal with it. Louis?
Following up on these contacts with the Taliban, have there been contacts with the Taliban about the U.S. withdrawal that's going to be taking place right now and over the coming days to ensure that there are no misinterpretations of what's going on?
The short answer to your question is yes. Without getting into detail, our commanders on the ground remain in communication with Taliban leaders around the airfield to deconflict and to prevent miscalculations and misunderstandings. And so far, that communication has been effective.
And that applies to the withdrawal that's going on right now?
It does. Nancy?